The vehicle I use for the thumbnail of this video is an American M109. It has a big gun, it has a rotating turret, it has caterpillar tracks, and it's bulletproof. But it's not a tank. And neither is this, or this. These vehicles are known as SPGs, or Self Propelled Guns, and they were built to solve two issues that the world's armies have been struggling with for hundreds of years. But what are they for? And why are they proving so useful in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine? Artillery is one of the oldest weapons of war, dating back to ancient times with catapults, onagers, ballistas, and trebuchets. The invention of gunpowder led to the first cannons as early as the 14th century, and over the centuries, cannons developed into the large caliber, relatively high velocity artillery pieces that we can see today. We can split artillery pieces into two types: direct fire and indirect fire. Direct fire is essentially a big gun. You can see the target, you point your barrel at it, and you fire. The path of the projectile is relatively flat, and the round will come at the target from the side. Weapons like a ballista, cannons on a ship of the line, or an anti-tank gun. Indirect fire works slightly differently. A lot of the time you can't actually see the target you're firing at, and you're firing your projectile far up into the air in a parabola, a big arc. As a result, the projectile will most likely come down vertically onto the target. Think trebuchets, mortars, or field howitzers. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from using an indirect fire weapon in a direct fire role, or vice versa, but the weapon system is usually optimized for one or the other. Self-propelled guns like this one are used primarily in an indirect fire role. They are artillery pieces, and are used at long ranges to pummel enemy positions with accurate, usually high explosive fire. Historically, this role was done by regular towed artillery pieces. The gun is mounted on a wheeled carriage that can be moved short distances by its crew, or over longer distances by a team of horses, or, more recently, a truck or a tractor. And these worked perfectly fine, but had one critical issue that SPGs don't have. With traditional artillery, you need to set them up. Unhitch the gun, unfold the legs, dig it into position, fetch the ammo, set up your radio, and then you can fire. In the meantime, you have been spotted by the enemy. A forward recon team, an aircraft, or even a satellite has seen your position, and suddenly every enemy artillery piece will be firing at you, using what is known as counter-battery fire. And you're stuck. Nobody is going to be driving trucks around or trying to move an artillery piece when under actual bombardment. But what if you could move? What if you could roll your artillery piece out into a good firing position, fire, and then immediately leave the area? Enter the self-propelled gun. First developed in World War I by the British in the aptly named gun carrier Mark I, which mounted a 60-pounder artillery piece onto the chassis of a Mark IV tank to carry it across trenches to support advancing infantry. In the interwar period, the British developed the concept further into the more capable Birch gun, but it didn't really catch on, and even by the start of World War II, everyone was still using towed artillery pieces. This would change over the war, likely due to the accuracy of counter-battery fire and the prevalence of recon and attack aircraft, and by the end of the war many nations had invested heavily in self-propelled artillery pieces. Germany had the Wespe, Hummel, Bison, Grille and Sturmpanzer. America had the M7, the M12, M37, M40 and M41, and Commonwealth troops had the Bishop and the Sexton. The point is, the self-propelled howitzer was here, and it was here to stay. This new type of vehicle would see combat in almost every armed conflict since, with their ability to shoot and scoot proving invaluable in a modern battlefield when a missile or guided bomb can land on you at any second. Many modern SPGs solve another issue that towed howitzers run into, or rather, have a huge advantage over them. Autoloaders. Mounting a gun in a turret allows the integration of an autoloading system, greatly increasing your rate of fire. This means the time you have to stay still before scooting away is a lot less in order to land the same amount of rounds on target. Some systems even have the ability to fire, say, 6 shells in rapid succession and have them all land on target simultaneously by firing them at slightly different elevations so they have different amounts of time in the air. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has seen these vehicles become one of the most important weapons in each side's arsenal. With the absolute airborne dominance of drones, hiding an artillery position is almost impossible, so shooting and scooting in the self-propelled artillery piece is the only real way to engage your enemy safely. Ukraine currently operates a hodgepodge mix of self-propelled artillery systems. They have their Soviet legacy vehicles like the 2S1, 2S3, 5, 7 and 19, their own 2S22 system, Czech Danas, Slovakian Zuzanas, German Panzerhaubitze 2000s, American M109s, Polish Krabs, British AS90s, French Césars, and Swedish Archers. It's safe to say that the maintenance and logistics guys over there have their work cut out for them. And the future state of the SPG looks bright. Guided artillery shells are close to becoming the norm, and modern systems can fire these shells at obscene ranges. For example, a prototype American system, the M1299, can lob an experimental rocket-propelled 105mm shell to a target 70 kilometers away. That's around 44 miles, or for you Americans, 775 football fields. Touchdown indeed. I hope you've enjoyed this short video about self-propelled guns. It's a topic I'd love to explore more of, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Special thanks to my Patreons, and we've been discussing tanks, artillery pieces and the Ukraine war over on my Discord channel, so do join us if you've got any thoughts. And if not, I'll see you next time.